Hello there, welcome to Sacred Symposium. I hope you're all well. Today is Tuesday the 21st of April. I've just done your tarot reading, which you will find on the channel next to this video, so do give it a watch. It's very interesting. I hope you're well. Sun is now shining beautifully outside. I was out earlier and it was beautiful, and then it clouded over as I was coming in, and I was like, yeah, just back in time before the rain starts. But it didn't start. The clouds are blowing away and blue skies coming out, so it's going to be nice for the afternoon, which is lovely. Hope you're all well. To any new watchers, hi, my name's Karen, and I'm here to do often what is a channeling from spirit, or an energy will come through, and I'll deliver a message of some kind. Sometimes it's mediumship. Kind of put out the feelers today that I wouldn't mind if it was mediumship. I kind of feel like I want to do a bit more practice in mediumship, and how it's important to convey to people about death and dying in the sense of how we understand it as a medium. I feel like there's something on my... Maybe it's just spirit often touches your face. So I have opened the door and allowed for energies to enter the room. So there are some energies here. Matthew Perry is here again. He comes through quite a lot for me now. Not to speak this time, I don't think. He's just kind of coming in and taking a seat, and he seems to be like ushering other people in. So perhaps there's someone else who's going to come in. Nelson Mandela energy. Oh, is it going to be Nelson Mandela? I'm not sure. My role here is just to tell you what I'm getting, and then I often have to Google it after and see if it made sense. Is it Mr. Mandela? I feel like I want to say Dr. Mandela. Don't know if he got a doctorate. And I feel like he's coming forward to kind of kiss me on both cheeks. So there's a welcome where he wants to come close and do that, you know, on both sides, and kind of a greeting. So there's a definite warmth, a greeting, big smile, laugh. He's got a laugh that he's showing me now. He's a real hearty, guttural laugh is what I'm getting. And the shiny disposition, you know, it's like the sunshine. It, you know, brings a smile to everyone's face. So that kind of smile, there's a sense of relaxation and a sense of relaxed confidence. You know, someone who knows themselves inside out. I feel like he was kind of sitting on a tall stool there, but it's sort of changed now, so it's almost like he's at a podium. And he's at a podium, like, about to kind of give a speech. Oh, it's a bit like Martin Luther, because I'm getting, you know, I have a dream, that type of thing. Was that Martin Luther King? Desmond Tutu. Malcolm X. Lot of black men, history, strong leader energy is coming through. Standing up for what you believe in, being willing to express yourself eloquently to show the problems. I think my neighbours are arriving back downstairs, which means the children will be home from school. So there might be a bit of distraction. Sorry, can we carry on, please? So I think I'm going back to Nelson Mandela. that song, Nelson Mandela. Ooh, Nelson Mandela. There was a song, wasn't it? He's saying as well, he was burned too, so I think it's a reference to his wife. But in imperfection, something great can grow. It's, just because he was in jail, and just because he came out of a jail, apartheid coming through now, just because he came out of jail and was welcomed back in, doesn't mean what he was welcomed back into his environment was perfect. But that didn't stop the beauty. It's almost like they're showing me now like a field, and a corner of a field where there's clay and manure and rubbish, but you get these little shoots of these little flowers that come up and just start blooming. Because even in the crappy area, life can bloom, and the littlest life can bloom. I don't want to switch the camera off, but I want to excuse me, because if you're in a field and you're looking across to the corners, if you see the tiniest little pink flower, blue flower, white flower, you go, oh, I can see the flower. The tiniest little expression of the beauty of who you are can change something for so many. It is important to be seen now. He seems to be saying, feel free to say what you need to say. And it's not about being against others. So there's a very clear line of inquiry here, which is, it's not about being against you and against you. It's about, there's a God element here. There's a deep understanding of the truth of loving all. But that takes incredible courage and strength. Not everyone's built for it. Not everyone's built to be an expression of it. So these men were pillars in the world, where they were given a platform as well and encouraged to be the spokesperson. And they took that role on, some to their detriment. I feel there's a revolution. So we've got Bob Marley coming in with their revolution. There's a revolution coming in energy. So over the next few months, and sometimes my channelings, my videos on Sacred Symposium don't make sense to much later. So, revolution. We've got lots of cop cars. Something's going down somewhere. It's so cold. But they will eventually make sense. So it's kind of a little heads up often. Because Bob's coming in as well, and he's saying about, being vocal, being on stage, proclaiming, but also that he was a mixed race. So, he combined two races. So it's again, it's not the other, because he was both, you see, which can be devastating for some people. He's gone devastation, which could be about something else. There's a risk of running away from something as well. so Bob was kind of taking over, but now he's sort of standing back, and he said, no, this is for like Nelson Mandela. And I'm hearing Desmond Tutu as well. Bishop Desmond Tutu. Was it Bishop? Bringing in that religious element, bringing in that God line again. But in the truest sense, it made good people. It made people good. And in a sense, perhaps there was a fear of God, a fear of religion, a fear of hell, which we obviously, how would we say, which we have evolved beyond that understanding. That's what my guide is saying. We've evolved beyond that understanding. Nevertheless, it had a power at a time, and it influenced a lot of people into behaving in a better manner. And through that behaving in a better manner, there was a window of opportunity. It almost feels like a coming back to that, in the sense, belief, commitment, people understanding religion perhaps in a different way as well. Perhaps it is this new understanding. Perhaps there's going to be a shift in religion, which it's not so much the doctrine, it's more the facilitation, the facility of ceremony, of attending church. It seems to be about the Christian religion. But how that can open hearts to all, that open hearts to everyone. And it's the change it creates in a person. Perhaps there's something coming in now, perhaps because that person feels loved. Because often people are concerned about their sins, the things they've done wrong. Sins, obviously we don't align with that anymore, my guide is saying, but I'm going off the old narrative here. When people perhaps didn't execute their lives in the best manner, but they would always go and be forgiven, they would always go and have reconciliation, they would go and contemplate their life, and they would go and feel loved. And they embodied that then. And they knew that if God forgave them, if God loved them, then that gave them, it kind of filled them up, and therefore they could express a more equality, a more equal, fair energy out there. And I'm getting now that the religious ceremony usually happens, once a week on a Sunday or a Saturday, or there's a kind of a weekly reminder. So there's this sense of having to come back and get another dose, having to come back and get another alignment, having to come back and get another inspiration, having to come back and feel purpose. And people have lost their way, people have lost their purpose. People have lost their foundation, people have lost family, the family network, the family setup has changed. And we're all family, they're saying. We're all family. We all belong to one family, humanity. Families have disputes, families have discussion. But at the bottom line is families out there for each other. Through hardship, so this is Nelson Mandela, through hardship and suffering, it's like we try and run away from it so much. We try and run away from the pain, run away from the suffering, run away from the dark feeling, the dark thoughts. But it's in those moments that you meet God. It's in those moments that you connect to the divine. It's in those moments that you know in your sense of self the presence of something greater. And that is the purpose. And then that's what you have to carry out into the world. But you're not carrying it alone. You're not fighting this alone. You are like a channel, like this one is a channel. You are like a channel, channeling forward that energy that saved you. It is righteous. That's Bob coming in. Righteous. Bring on the revolution. No time to waste. You sit around too long. You mess up. You fall down. Reach higher. Don't take no for an answer. You can't negotiate your way out of this life. You got to become a star, and resurrect your soul to life. Peace, y'all. Peace, man. And so I'm now kind of seeing like he's singing, strumming, and they're all involved in singing, and like the gospel singers, there's this great collaboration and coming together and singing. What else would you like to share with us? We are not dead. We are working for the higher one. We laid the foundations that are being stepped over, stamped upon. I'm seeing like a cigarette going into the ground, someone standing on the cigarette and pushing it into the ground. So it's like everything that they built and they worked on, all the collaborations that they did, they're kind of, people are forgetting. So they are working for reconciliation. They're attempting to invoke peaceful period. Again, it's talking about the basics, the foundations, the rawness of their lives, and they're aware of our technological age, they're aware of technocracy, but we're all simple humans at the end of the day. Not to forget that, not to forget humanity, not to forget your own humanity, your own humanness. Muhammad Ali, because it's coming in fighting. You're fighting for rights, fighting for space, fighting for land. It seems to me that something's going to come from black culture. There's going to be some sort of wave that comes in. It might not be this month. It might be a little bit down the road. It might be tomorrow. I don't know if there's an anniversary of any of these people. So what can we do? What advice would you give us, Mr. Mandela? Morgan Freeman, but I think he's still with us. So maybe he's going to speak about something or express something. So there is a speech that Nelson Mandela gave, but it's always attributed to him, but it was written by Marianne. What's her name? Marianne. She's the person who does A Course in Miracles, and she was going for presidency as well. She's very much of the light, and that's what the speech was about, and he used this from her. Is it Marianne? You know, when something just leaves you when you're in mediumship. But it was about not realizing your greatness, and who are you not to be great, and the fact that you think you have to be small, but you're not. You're frightened. It's not about frightened of not being enough. You can be frightened because you're too much, because you have so much power. Every single one of us has so much power and light, and we can bring that to the table. So it's not that you're frightened about not being good enough. Often you're frightened because you have so much within. And especially I think if you're developing spiritually, you realize what it is physically, you realize what connections you have, and it's a big thing to carry, but it's much needed. There might be something about South Africa coming through as well. It's like no one's finished having their pain. So it's like it's not like things are just going to flip over and go, oh yeah, everything's beautiful. Yeah. Sorry, I can hear my neighbours now. It's distracting. And I think to finish, guys, thank you all for coming. It has been an honour to be in your presence, all of you. Fighting for the rights, again, fighting for the rights, fighting for your place, fighting for equality. And it's like they're showing me, like when the skin is pulled off, you're just flesh and bone. How different are you from each other? All races. And the downtrodden do fight. The downtrodden do try and come back. But it's that belief that you're downtrodden as well. It's this inherited belief all across races. Some have an inherited belief that they're better. Some have an inherited belief that the world is against them. These are things that are taught to them, because when you see children of different races playing together, they don't even see, the colour. They don't see. They think, I saw a little cup of two kids once and they thought they were exactly the same, even though they had different coloured skin. So it's something about sorry, I'm hearing noise. The belief, what you're taught. And there's a shift in the environment, there's a shift in the energy, And so old beliefs aren't going to hold on much going forward. There will be pockets, there will be places that they're saying where there's still a lot of stuff to work through. So there's a lot of stuff personally for people to work through based on their family circumstance, based on their neighbourhood, based on their social standing, based on their financial position, based on their health. But they are saying you can't give up. Strive to be better every day. Even in your own place, wherever you are, with your own prejudice. Just strive to be better every day. There's a welcome opportunity here. And it's almost like something might happen where a group of people will have to come together to support each other. A group of people with differences. Suddenly something will happen. And I know we have war, and I know there's chaos, and I know there are groups who come together. There are people, from all over Europe and here in this country, England, who have gone to these war zones, are doing the surgeries, are helping people, even though people have a bad opinion of, for example, this country. So there are good things being done. There are people mixing and crossing borders to help. But it's almost like there's going to be something that comes, and it will force a community to come together. And everything has a ripple effect. So now I'm saying ripple, ripple, ripple. So everything has a ripple effect. Thank you all. So they just reminded me of the Queen of Sheba. And I have had an experience of being the energy of Queen of Sheba. And of course she had dark skin. And life, they're showing me that as well. Life has, if anyone is into like reincarnation or living many, many lives, you live through all kinds of different lives. You might come back as a male once, you might come back as a female, then you might come back with white skin, and you might come back with darker skin. So you live through all of these different experiences. That's what the soul wants to learn from. Soul school. They've given me that soul school. It's quite nice. Soul school. End of lesson. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. I might share it, I might not, I'm not sure yet. 333 on my video in my time, 33 minutes past 3 p.m. on 21st of April 2026. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a little, that was fun. I like doing that. I like bringing people in and having a chat. Them and their entourages are all moving off now. Feels like Bob Marley is singing War. And instead of saying no woman, no cry, he's saying no people, no cry. Awesome. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. A little bit of mediumship, a little bit of connecting with the other realm. I had a near-death experience. I mean, out-of-body experience, astral experience, whatever you want to call it. But because I was asked, did I want to come back, I read afterwards that often you're asked that by your guide, and it wasn't my number one, it was a different energy. But you are coming back once they ask you that. But also, that's usually like a near-death kind of experience. But the reason I came back is, I mean, it's a bit of a story, but the reason I came back is I could see up here the words, people have the wrong idea about death. There is no death. Thank you.